want to bring in now Miri from Tel Aviv. She's a senior fellow at the International Institute for Counterterrorism at Reichman University, and she's also a colonel in the reserves for the Israel Defense Forces. Thank you so much for joining us here. We were just hearing there from our reporters who were talking about some of the families, the reaction there. I mean, just absolutely heartbroken and angry. So now as Israelis are learning about who died, what is the feeling there in the country?
So, it's already 11 a.m. Today is September 1st. It's the first day of school in Israel, and that means that first graders are going for the first time. And you saw parents taking their kids to school literally crying. I listened to Nick's description and I thought he's describing these 6 families, but it's actually the state of Israel. I don't know any of those 6, and they're all as if my kids. I have a 23-year-old daughter. Hirsch was 23. You go around and you think of it as being something very personal. And the combination is that we are heartbroken and we're angry, and it's hard to pinpoint what more heartbroken, which is so harsh, or more angry and at whom. And all of that is how you feel, because as I went around, my little things that I was doing this morning, right? It's September 1st. I'm supposed to go, I'm supposed to work, and I can't concentrate, and I'm looking around, and nobody knows what to say, and that's in the entire state of Israel.
Yeah, such a mixture of feelings it must be, as you described there. The cabinet apparently meeting at this hour. What's your sense of what could come out of this?
So at least in the Israeli news, they announced that the cabinet had decided to cancel this morning's meeting, which is a statement upon itself. So I don't think they're actually meeting right now. Usually every Sunday there's the Israeli cabinet meeting. Sunday's the first day of the week here inside Israel. But what I'm watching is, we get our news feed from different things that within the cabinet itself, the members of the government, I'm not talking about the opposition, that the members of the government are putting out vastly different statements. The defense minister put out a written statement. The prime minister did a taped statement, not facing journalists or people. The prime minister canceled his scheduled visit on the first day of school to go to a first grade class. It just goes to show that this is throwing everybody off. All of us are feeling horrible. And the cabinet most definitely made statements that are very challenging. And I think in that sense that what we're looking at as Israelis right now, will the security cabinet that made the decision last week that they're going to stay on Philadelphia corridor, will they change that decision? I do not know the answer. I know that the defense minister stated clearly, let's sit down, let's change that decision, let's get the live hostages back.
Yeah. On that, I mean, there is so much anger against the prime minister. How much do you think this will add now to the pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to a hostage release and ceasefire deal?
So I really want to try and flush this out with you for a moment, Kim, because this is a real challenging point. I'm not sure that any other prime minister right now would have an easy job. This is a horrific, horrible war. It started, and I'm going to be, when Elliot before described them as militants, I wanted to jump in and say, no, they are terrorists, and Hamas is a terror organization. And that beginning from October 7th, that last night, the finding of these 6 people who were murdered, executed 24 hours before they were found. They were alive until then. That's part of the whole situation. So I am angry at the decisions that the cabinet has made. I have to tell you, I do acknowledge that there are different opinions. So I want to separate between that overall anger that is here, which is against whoever is making the decision, and specifically the prime minister, because the prime minister was under attack in Israel in the year before the war. I was one of those also who very much opposed the policies of this government. And having said that, they were elected in, and there are very few legal democratic ways that you can move them out. And they're making these decisions that impact every single one of us. So I don't know that there's more anger now, But boy, it's boiling out all over the place.
Finally, we only have a minute left, but I did want to ask you this, taking advantage of your military expertise. There was one hostage recovered alive last week, but tragically that's been sort of the exception. I believe there have only been 8 who have been rescued alive. So it just underlines the military challenges of trying to rescue these hostages alive while also conducting a war in that area at the same time.
And it goes to show that a terrorist organization, not militant, is willing to execute the bargaining chip because that's better for them as a terror organization rather than have just left them alive. No, they executed them yesterday to make sure that they wouldn't fall into Israelis' hands alive. It is a horrific situation.
Well, we'll have to leave it there. Appreciate getting your perspective. Miri Eisen, thank you so much.